Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Royal Sussex Live. Welcome, one and all. Let me see here. Is the volume up loud enough? Okay. Let me see who was here first. Oh, wait a minute. You won't believe this. You won't believe it. Wow, my slides are ready. Everything's ready on time. That's weird. Now you won't even believe it's me if I do everything on time. That's going to confuse everybody. Okay, so Mary H., thank you so much for being here first. Hattie Musangu, thank you so much for being here second. And Bunny Rose, Carlene Beckford, Karen Williams, Carol Lunn, thank you. Judy Mutasid, Joyce Bose. Let me see. Oh, I did say that already. Okay, well, I tell you what. I'll just say hi to everybody later on. Hi, Lola Love, Olivia Johnson, Maggie Howe, Marshar. Oh, and still no Black Queen. Still no Black Queen today. Oh, well, I hope she's feeling better. Okay. Very disappointed, very sad. Miss Black Queen. Let's see here. Shadow's mom, B. Martin, Mackenzie, Cherry Hill. Anyway, let's get on with it, shall we? So Prince Harry's Good Morning America review, Duchess Meghan's moment, plus the British media's reaction. Well, you guys, I was so sure and so certain that, but Church Nelly tried to tell us it wasn't a good idea. I think that's what Church Nelly meant to say in so many words. And believe me, there was so many words. But yeah, things did not go as planned. But I tell you what, I'll get into that later. 1960, hey, Charles Lambert. Lambert Charles, what I keep saying that the wrong way. Thank you so much for being here. Mamie Ricks, hello. Robin Hyde, howdy. Okay. Beverly Jackson, hello. Leslie F., good to see you. Good to see you. Diana Ortiz, Maggie Howell. All right, well, let's get on with it, shall we? Prince Harry. I did not know, at least I didn't see that coming. Hey, NoBD, Noreen Bengali, hello. I didn't see that coming. I didn't know that there would be questions about Harry's citizenship or whether he wants to be a citizen or become a citizen. Or Harry was kind of caught off guard as well. And you could tell the question made him very uncomfortable. He was a bit squirrely, to say the least, meaning that he could not seem to get the words out. He was at a loss for words, but he did maintain his demeanor just the same. But you can tell that question kind of caught him off guard. But, well, I mean, the thing is, you guys, is that these things will happen, and we cannot, what is that term, cotton wool, meaning that you can't put him in some type of protective wrapping, and we have to experience the world. I always say that about the young people. They have to experience the world. We cannot blow their nose for them. They have to make it on their own. You have to sink or swim. And so it wasn't horrible, but we kind of know what the tabloid media is likely to do with the least bit of information. You just give them a thread and they start pulling it. And so Right now, he says he's not thinking about it. And I was even thinking too that if he did become an American citizen, there would be a lot of firsts. But one thing that is a consideration is would that take him out of line for the British throne, right? That is something to consider. But either way, um, yeah, it's just something you have to consider. So um, Harry is a royalist. Harry is a monarchist. Harry believes in the monarchy. And that is something that is in contrast to the way, or should I say, in conflict to the way a lot of you all think. I, I like to be an optimist. I like to believe that there is some good in just about every person that lives, right? There's some good in everyone. And the monarchy it revolves around one family, and it was odd. I heard this one reporter today. She was saying that that Harry have people. No, Harry sent his grandparents to their grave, believing that the world sees them as racist. And I wish I could have told her face to face. Don't blame him for that. It wasn't long before the Queen died before people started yelling colonizer and reparations. People have viewed the British royal family as the embodiment of white supremacy for a long time. And of course, racist. Even Pierce Morgan, in that interview, referred to them in so many words as having a problem with race, meaning racist. So you can't put that on Harry. They have been seen by so many people for so long. Philip, the Queen Mother, even the Queen, and just about every member of that family in some form or fashion has been viewed as either racist or having racist tendencies. So that is one thread that someone pulled upon. How they got that out of that interview is anybody's guess. There was no element of that there. But the point of most of these royal reporters or British tabloid media reporters is to inflict as much harm upon the Sussexes as possible. In particular, Meghan and sometimes Harry, sometimes both, but mostly they like to go after Meghan. Meghan is the big target. Um, let's see, Colleen, thank you so much for being here. Colleen says, I believe Harry did well. The interview was fine and found no issues with the questions. You know what? I'm so glad you said that because I'm just going to say as well, I had no problem with the questions. Harry was not as prepared. I think the questions made him uncomfortable, and I don't even care about that. I don't care that he did not ace the questions out as well as I wish he or could have. But the thing is, he is showing his very human side. Thank you for your comment, by the way. Hi, Church Nelly. Yes, you told us so. Yes, I think you implied that it was a bad idea. Um, God, I hate to let you be right, but it wasn't horrible. It just was a little uncomfortable. That's all. There were certain elements that were a mite uncomfortable, right? I mean, I would be um, disingenuous if I didn't say that there weren't parts of it that made me uncomfortable. But that being said, when he spoke about the Invictus, of course, that was easy for him because it's something that he believes in. But the family, that is very complicated. And who could blame him for being uneasy or ill at ease with some of the questions and such? He did the best he could, right? He did the best he could. and that's all to it. Yes, SF. He did say his family is in California and he loves living there. He certainly did. That's also something that should be made note of, is that he loves his family, and and as a matter of fact, he said he loves every single day, So that is something else to make note of. Uh-oh. How did that pop up? Okay, let me see if I can find this. Okay, I'm looking for the interview. And so we'll just listen to, as a matter of fact, let me see here. I don't want to do the, well, let me see. H Knight says, Tisha Tells is saying that Harry is going back to the royal family. I don't believe this. Thank you, H Knight. I don't believe it either. He's got too much in the U.S. He's a homeowner. Probably the first senior member of the royal family to, buy a home in the United States. And of course, to purchase a home without using any funds from the royal family. So there's that. And thank you so much for your comment. So, what am I looking for here? Nope, not that. Nope, not that. Why do I keep doing that? Okay. Do I want that one? Let me see here. Nope, not that. Okay. Nope, not that. Okay. Oh, yes. I know what I'm looking for. Phew, boy. Okay. My mind is racing here. Oh, I forgot to check that out today. Is saying that Prince Harry is wrong to be upfront and address certain transparently. So, okay. Forget about that.
First 60 miles an hour down a winding track of ice in the mountains of Canada.
What?
It's all part of his and Duchess Meghan's multi-day tour of the site of Invictus Games Vancouver Whistler 2025. The couple giving GMA exclusive access. Harry's the founding patron of the games, and for next year's first ever winter edition, competitors, many of them wounded veterans from up to 25.
You know what? I'm not trying to hear all that. I want to get to the part about the family. Let's get to that. The rather
yoga instructor for the world's scariest yoga.
One run from here.
Yeah.
My competitive juice was flying.
To go. The Duke and Duchess's every move has made headlines. And just last week, an unexpected diagnosis for Harry's father, King Charles.
How did you get the news that the king was ill?
I spoke to him.
And what did you do next?
I jumped on a plane and went to go and see him as soon as I could.
How was that visit for you emotionally?
Look, I love my family. The fact that I was able to get on a plane and go and see him and spend any time with him, I'm grateful for that.
What's sort of your outlook on his health?
That stays between me and him.
An illness in the family can have a galvanizing or sort of reunifying effect for a family.
Absolutely.
Is that possible in this case?
Yeah, I'm sure. I mean, throughout all these families, I see it on a day-to-day basis. The strength of the family unit coming together.
Just physically being in California, how have you processed the fact that there's so much happening back with your family where you come from?
I have my own family,
right?
So as we all do, right? So, my family.
I have my own family. By the way, SF, thank you so much for becoming a new member of Royal Sussex.
In my life in California is as it is. I've got other trips planned that would take me through the UK or back to the UK. So I'll stop in and see my family as much as I can.
That's fine.
Now people are taking the I have other trips planned through the UK and to the UK, as meaning Harry is going back. Not as a full-time royal, not as a part-time royal.
Next question about your family. How's Harry the dad?
How's what?
How's Harry the dad?
I can't tell you. That's classified.
Okay, it's super top secret.
It's top secret.
Really?
No, the kids.
Making lunches.
The kids are doing great. The kids are growing up like all kids do, very, very fast. They've both got an incredible sense of humor and make us laugh and keep us grounded every single day, like most kids do. So, yeah, I'm just very grateful to be a dad.
How are you enjoying your time living in the US?
It's amazing. I love every single day.
Do you feel American?
Do I feel American? No, I don't know. I don't know how I feel.
Would you think about becoming a citizen?
I have considered it. Yeah.
Yeah. What would stop you from doing it?
I have no idea. I'm here standing next to this with these guys, and the American citizenship is a thought that has crossed my mind, but certainly not something that's a high priority for me right now.
Aside from Invictus, what's keeping you busy when you're out of the house?
Everything.
Yeah.
Everything in the house, everything outside the house. So no, the mission continues, and every element of the work continues. And before you know it, February next year, this time in a year's time, we're going to be right here doing all this again. Hopefully you'll be here. And we're going to have the whole of Worcester and hopefully the whole of Canada screaming these guys on for an epic games.
Back on this.
Okay, so it's not easy. Like I said, I think it's not so much how Harry responded as how we expect the others to respond. Marshall says, Teacher Tell is getting annoyed with squatties, me, who question her commentary as being lies, laugh out loud. I can't really say how people come to their opinions about things. And I don't know. I think what really matters the most is what we hear from the Sussexes. That's it, and that's all. We have had a long-standing policy that if we don't hear it from Harry and Meghan, then it's not true. That's the only way to approach this. So everybody is entitled to their opinions about all of this stuff. These are public forums, and no, single person has the exact same opinions as someone else. So I, for one, don't see it. Just the math doesn't add up for me because of everything that they've been through and how established the Sussexes are in the U.S. That being said, stranger things have happened, but I just don't see a future for them back there because literally it would be not just a choice between which country you're going to live in, but what would the family go through. And I think we've learned everything we need to know about what's on the other side. So I don't see them going back. I don't see them having a future there. Home is home, and Harry misses the ability to come and go from home. And of course, when he had to be there, then of course he couldn't wait to get away. But that's still a place where he has lots of memories, good and bad. And I've seen people that have lived in other countries for ages, but at a certain point, they do want to visit home. So I guess if there wasn't like so much pressure to be away, or should I say, if it wasn't so much pressure put upon him as being not welcomed in his own home, maybe he wouldn't think so much of it. But because that is there, you know how that is. Sometimes when you don't have the option, it's like all you could think about. So, and they're trying to take his option to return back to the UK. They want to remove that from him. They want to make it as uncomfortable as possible. Hi, VS. Thank you for being here. Okay, I'm scrolling down. Hey, Lydia, thank you for being here. Okay, all right. And Helene Groen, thank you so much for being here. Lorna Williams says, I look at Teacher Tell. Her info was from the Sunday Times. Murdoch Times info was from the ABC interview. From what I saw, there was a paywall. Well, thank you for that, number one, Lorna Williams. Oh, you're in Canada, right? CA, you're in Canada. Thanks for welcoming the Sussexes. Well, people seem to read the tea leaves and believe that there is a possibility of a half in, half out. And just to err on the side of caution, right? We don't know what the conversation was between father and son. And maybe there is someone within the royal household that is leaking information that I don't necessarily believe is true, but it may not have just come out of nowhere. It may be someone in the UK that is, or like within the royal household, that is pushing that information out there. Maybe they believe that information is true, but until it happens, I just don't see it. I don't see it. But again, it's not as though there aren't people saying that. We've been hearing it for the past, since Charles said he was ill with cancer, and since Harry jumped on that plane. And I've heard hours, and I do mean hours, of speculation about what information, what thoughts, what obligations were brought up or exchanged in their meeting. And yes, there is a lot of people, squatties included, that believe that there is some type of agreement. I just don't think the math bears it out. And, and that's just something I've always used my whole life when I try to figure out what's real or imagined, or what's possible, is, does it add up? Does it make sense? Not just financial sense, but any kind of sense. And right now, I would say that all bets are off about them coming back. But again, we don't know what was said. So the thing is, okay, I don't want to spend too much time on this. And thank you for your comment, Lorna Williams. The thing is, the royal family is in a great deal of peril right now. We know William has a huge problem, right? That may have been a topic of conversation. Harry is a council of state, even though he's been trust me, he's still a council of state. I don't believe they took that away from him. I think there's other people who would go first, but I don't believe that was taken away from him. He is still in line for the throne. There are several people between him and the throne, so that's not likely to happen. The possibility of a regent. Now, that's the only thing that I could ever see happening, is the obligation to be a regent. Not that he would do it, but he may be obliged to do it. We've even talked about that. So I guess in closing on this matter, I'm going to say that Harry has not renounced any of those things. He has not put into writing, I'm not available. And until he does that, then it is still something that is possible. Not likely, but possible. Okay? So there are some squatties who would like to see that happen. And then there are others who say, hey, that would be the worst possible thing ever. So, thank you, Lorna Williams. Yes, Prince Harry is still a counselor of state. I checked recently. See there? So let's not put words into his mouth. We don't know what their intentions are. And when I say they, I'm speaking of the Sussexes. But the royal family is in a lot of trouble, and they need senior working royals. And I do believe that if there was any way that that could be possible, that there will be people in the royal household, not necessarily family members, but possibly family members that will say, listen, a lot of things have happened, but we're in trouble. So I'll tell you, okay, last thing I'll say, when the hemorrhaging stops, meaning that if suddenly these vicious attacks from the tabloid media ceased tomorrow, okay, if all of that stopped, then I would say, looks like something is going to happen. But if that does not happen, they ain't going back, okay? That's where I stand. If all of a sudden the unseen hand, the master puppeteer, the overlords, the powers that be, if all of a sudden the vicious leaking and attacking from the tablet, okay, in other words, if the media begins to treat Harry and Meghan like they treat the rest of the family, then I'll say, oh my God, they're trying to get him back over there. If that happens, that happens. But until that happens, with the hyperbolic rhetoric, the incendiary remarks that are coming from the tabloid media every day, to the likes of which the royal family seems to have a great deal of say, then it ain't gonna happen. It ain't gonna happen. You would have to have a sustained period of no attacks, no vicious remarks, before I would ever believe something like that could happen. But nobody in their right mind would walk into an atmosphere like that with day-to-day vicious attacks on one's family like that, okay? So just remember I said that. If all of that stuff ever ceased, like someone just has thrown a switch, right? If that happened, then I would say they're trying to get the Sussexes back over there. But if it doesn't happen, no way. So that's where I stand. Okay. B. Martin says, everyone wants to know what was said when Prince Harry visit, as no one is saying I am cool with it. Hear, 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 hear. It's not meant for us to know. We probably shouldn't know. I would prefer it stay between father and son. I mean, there's got to be some boundaries where their relationship is concerned, and that's cool. He did not say anything in that interview that was a breach of trust between himself and his father. Joanna Hong says, I saw them, UK News, and stated that Prince Harry will step in for his dad's absence from his duty. Thank you so much, Joanna Hong, for the comment. Appreciate it. Again, I do believe that has been said. I do believe it has been said. But until the vicious attacks stop, that's the only way. Well, okay, that's the only way I would say to Harry, you know what? You offered them the half in, half out. Right now, things seems to have cooled. Do it. But we know the tabloid media is not capable of doing any less. So it's not a good idea. It's just not a good idea. I missed all of those days of seeing them out on their royal duty and stuff like that. But I realized that there was no turning back when, remember when Meghan met that lady, Dorothy, and the lady was like, well, I'm going to spend the rest of the day thinking about the privilege and the honor of meeting you. But as lovely as that exchange was, the other thing that was said to Meghan that day was, why won't you call your father? And when I heard Meghan say that, it was gut-wrenching, because the only thing that I remember from that day, the only thing I've seen from that day before that was the conversation between Meghan and Dorothy. But unfortunately, there was someone who said something like that to her. And I don't ever want Meghan to go through that again. I don't want her to be humiliated by a crowd full of Karens, those Brexiteers and such. I don't ever want to see that happen again. So um, the thing is, those people, they don't deserve the Sussexes. I don't think that in that atmosphere that those royalists, they don't deserve the Sussexes saving the monarchy. And that's what the monarchy needs. They need to be rescued because they are in peril. They are in peril. The fact that William won't show up, it's not that he can't, that he won't show up, lets you know that there's probably just as much wrong with him as there is with Kate. I think both of them have some serious issues that have been hidden. Thank you again, Joanna Hung. And thank you for being a member of Royal Sussex. Leg says Charles III is willing to say that Harry and possibly Meghan would work for them. I guess is that Charles III is telling Harry to not contradict them and they would leave them be. Interesting. Well, I mean, but still, there is so much power that the royal family has. And that just goes to show the media, and I keep saying the media, most of those people in the tabloid media, they have no love for the royal family. They feel like the royal family are like their pets, like they're zoo animals. They're like zookeepers with the royal family. They don't respect them. They don't see them as humans. They objectify them from birth. And if they had a chance to make them squirm by, using bullying tactics against any of them, they would. The Queen included. That's why the Queen kept her mouth shut, because they would have turned on her. That institution is not safe from the press. No one in that institution was ever safe from the press. When they were saying, "Where's the Queen?" when Diana died, the press realized that there was a public sentiment and they were willing to risk the monarchy by printing it in the papers. They won't talk about whether or not Philip and Penny Natchbull had something going on. They won't talk about what William may or may not be doing, but they would dare make the Queen out to be the villain because she didn't come back to London. And they wanted their stories. They turned on her. That was the worst that she had ever experienced, but they turned on her. So like I said, none of those people are safe from the press. Thank you, Legs. Appreciate your comment. And let me see. SM, thank you so much for the Cash App. I just saw that come over my phone. Thank you very much. Greatly appreciate it. All right. Thank you so much. And let me continue. I'm still on the first slide. Marcy Foreman. Yes, I can take a hint. I can definitely take a hint. Will do. I think by now I really should have this queued to go, shouldn't I? But it is true. And someone needed to say it. Oh, okay.
Bitter. And somebody needs to say it. Bitter. Bitter, bitter, bitter.
Thank you, Marcy Foreman, and thank you again for being a member of Royal Sussex. Leg says, let me see here. Charles III is in a war with William. He wants to manipulate or pretend that Harry is on his side, even if he hates them. Thus, he is willing to use Harry again for PR. Hear, hear. I believe that. I really, really, really do believe that. Charles is a very slick one. He is very slick. And Charles knows how to play to public sympathy. Just like when he ran over the Paris to rescue Princess Diana's jewelry and personal effects, to make sure that there was nothing incriminating toward the royal family. That same Charles that would, go through all of that, or some people would say returning to the crime scene. If he would risk that, trust me, Charles knows how to work it. He knows what plays to the public's ideas and such. So yes, thank you, Lex. Okay, and Olivia Johnson, thank you so much for being a member for 5 months. Thank you. Okay. Oh, thank you, Blue Draws. Here, Baron. This is why I believe that Harry was fascinated with the Truman Show. Let me see. Okay, let me get off this first slide. So the royals won't be over the moon with Prince Harry's Good Morning America interview. Ex-palace butler claims, and it wasn't Paul Burrell, by the way, as expert says, King Charles will be hoping Duke of Sussex doesn't go into detail of his treatment or diagnosis, which he did not. So I don't know if that was from before the interview aired or after. As we know, the American media, the legacy media companies here in America, they are not going to forward the information to the palace before it's ready. So we know that there's no way that they've seen it. As they said very clearly, we don't do that. But no, he didn't say anything about it. He just said that he found out. He said he talked to him on the phone. And notice he didn't say I called him or he called me. He said, I found out on the phone. And what did you do? I jumped on the plane and went to see him right away. And anytime I could spend with my father, et cetera, et cetera. So again, what is his name? Will Reeves. He did not ask any bad questions. Harry, in exchange for promoting the Invictus games, it is a rule that you are going to find yourself getting some questions, right? And they weren't really gotcha questions, although I think that the rate in which he was talking was a bit fast. But that being said, he, as a reporter, had a right to ask the questions. And when you make yourself available for those interviews, that is part of it. So, Harry put his neck on the line, not for himself, but for the Invictus. I mean, I saw a image of this hallway with all of these reporters. I mean, just there had to be at least 100 of them, 100 people in that hallway, I believe. And you didn't have room to swing a dead cat in that hallway. There were so many of them. And so there was only one reporter who had a chance to speak to Harry, and that was the guy from Good Morning America. What's the name? Will Reeves. That was him. And so they are friends, actually. They are friends, but he also has a job to do. So that comes with it. And we can't expect these reporters to not do their job. They do have a job to do. And in particular, when it comes to the U.S. reporters, they're not coming with a lifelong bias of having, second and third generations working in the media and so having worked for the royal family or in the government or something like that. But, some of these people are from, little small towns in rural America, or in this case, the son of Superman. So, that I think it was fair. And, Harry he's too honest to just sit there and look someone straight in the face like a sociopath and say some scripted comment or something like that. But he did his best to avoid saying anything that would have been problematic. So cheers to both of them. They both had a job to do and they did their job. J. Matt, 1 year, 6 months in 23 days. Oh, thank you so much. 18 months membership. Oh, wow. Amazing. Thank you so much. Greatly appreciate it. Thank you for being a member. So, to give you an idea, this is pretty much representative of just about all of the tabloids. And I didn't read all the articles. I just wanted to know what they were talking about. Living in America, Prince Harry says he's considering U.S. citizenship, but his royal titles might hold him back. Well, that is the opinion of someone who saw the interview, obviously. And then over there, you can see, let me see, they make us laugh every day. Prince Harry reveals Archie and Lily have an incredible sense of humor and says they're growing up very fast. So Prince Harry said Archie and Lilibet have an incredible sense of humor and they make him laugh every day. And yeah, of course. I mean, the kids, by all accounts, the kids are in a very happy space. They have that huge garden. They have the chick inn. They have the canine companions and such. It looks like a great space to live in. Everybody should should know that type of love in the household. So Lady T says, Harry and Meghan have been working, and I am quite sure they have established commitments that they will not let go. Harry is smart and knows his family. He and Meghan are committed and stand by their mission. Hear, hear, Lady T. Hear, hear. Absolutely. Probably the most vulnerable position that Harry was in with that family was the Sandringham Summit. And he walked out of there with his head up, knowing that he was in a corner. He had been cornered by the courtiers and by Willie Leaks. And he came out of it a much stronger person and in a much stronger position, because by them taking everything away from him, look at what he's managed to build. I have experienced in my life losing everything and gaining so much more in the process. And that's just how life is. And sometimes God has to do for us what we cannot or will not do for ourselves. But you find out that the grass is greener on the other side of the mountain. So aside from some of the things he misses about being at home and such, he misses his aunts and just wants his kids. I think it's mostly about him wanting his kids to experience the English culture. And it is a great culture. I wanted to go to England my whole life, and I'm not sorry I did. I'm sorry the way things are right now in terms of, seeing a African American woman being abused by this institution and by the media. That I could not have ever imagined. But aside from that, it's a great place to visit, and there's so much that you can link in American culture and in our language and our habits. They go all the way back there, right? And there's a lot of great things that have evolved here in America away from England and the isolation of it. We have our own culture, but still, it's a lot of fun, and it's a fun place to visit. It's like you have stepped through the looking glass. Okay, so Proof Prince Harry hasn't. I'm sorry, Lady T. Thank you so much. In case I forgot to do that. Okay, so Proof Harry hasn't lost his sense of humor. Unearthed tweets from new Invictus CEO reveals how he ribbed the Duke over his ginger hair. before he was appointed. You know what? I should have read that one. I'm sorry, I didn't see that one, but oh well. I just figured they were all on the attack, so I didn't really care. I just wanted to have an idea of what they were talking about today. Harry's very public olive branch. Prince tells U.S. TV show, I love my family, and he hopes King Charles' cancer has a reunifying effect on them as he reveals he is considering becoming an American citizen. So, about the olive branch thing, um, even in the most hopeless situations, we make up with family. And I have experienced that myself, where you look and you say, God, I can't believe where we are right now. I hate we lost so much time, but look at where we are right now. Look at what God can do, right? So there's nothing wrong with that, right? There's nothing wrong with that. And we cannot feel or experience his family for him. We may have our opinions because they are public people. They are taking public money. Not Harry anymore, but the rest of that. God, I almost said cult. But the rest of that clan. Oh God, that's not helpful either. But the rest of his people. Do you know, if I was playing word association and if they would have said British royal family, I would have probably had blurted out cult, clan. But because I'm not playing word association, I'm just going to say his people. Oh my God. I could not believe that's that's the first thing that popped into my head. Cult, clan, white supremacists. Uh, B. Martin Barron, I like it. He respected the Boundary Class Act. Yes, he respected the boundaries, and he is a class act. Thank you, B. Martin. And also thank you for being a member of Royal Sussex. Another member, Judy Matassa, says, why Billy Joel on the same show, knowing his comment about Meghan, they were being shady on Good Morning America. Really? Are you serious? I only saw the clips. I didn't see the broadcast. I didn't see it live in the broadcast and everything, but the morning shows, they try to keep a lot of shadiness going. They try to keep a lot of mess going. And I hate that about those morning shows. They're so gossipy, especially the Today Show. God, they're horrible. The only place where I ever see them get a break is on CBS This Morning, but those other networks, I think they are just awful. They're really awful. And I suppose the only reason why I was on ABC is because, like I said, I think there is a friendship between Reeves and the Duke of Sussex. But other than that, I would have preferred CBS This Morning. But oh well. Again, it's not so much about Harry; it's about the Invictus competitors, warriors. That's who this is really about. And so he was able to put himself at risk on their behalf, and that's all it was. Otherwise, I'm pretty sure he would have rather not. But in order to draw attention to the Invictus Games, the best way to do it was to have an interview. And as awful as I feel the tabloid media is for twisting his words, it will help trend the Invictus Games. And hopefully that it will get more people to participate or get involved. Someone out there right now, maybe several people who are on the brink because of injury or because of the unseen injuries, PTSD. There's someone out there who is on the brink that has seen Good Morning America, and they know that there is a community out there where they can seek the brotherhood or sisterhood, a fellowship. So try to be positive and think of it that way. Is that yes, the interview happened. His words are being twisted and examined for any weaknesses, but the focus is on the veterans, on the wounded soldiers. So thank you, Judy Matassid, and thank you again for being a member of Royal Sussex. J. Matt says, one little interview set the world on fire. Wow. You could say that again. Thank you again for your comment and for being a member. But that is true. That single interview seems to have made people forget about a lot of things that are going on in this world. Harry's very public olive branch tells US TV show, I love my family. Okay, so we did that. And let me see, Royals won't be over the moon. Okay, did I put that on here twice? I think I did. As for that reporter, Graham something was his name. And I think I've seen him before. I'm not sure, but Love Wins Movement. I haven't put you up top in a while. Here's another Sussex-friendly space. I'm going to pin to the top of the chat. And a proud Canadian at that. Oh, did I just undo that? Okay, let me try that again. Okay, I hope I didn't put you in timeout or something. Okay, so there, that is up there. So again, another Sussex-friendly space that one might turn to for information and inspiration. Yeah, I didn't see it myself, so I'm hoping it was something taken out of context. And I probably won't try to see it, but let's hope that that's the case, is that it was taken out of context. Okay. Yeah, CBS this morning, I think they give them a better deal over there. Okay. So Prince Harry infuriates royals by saying nice things about King Charles. Okay, so I was going to do one of my little short videos, and I'm still going to post it. I have the rough draft of it available, so there's no background music. I didn't get a chance to add any photos, but I'll just play it for you right now. There's a lot of people talking about this article because it is filled with irony and just a tinge of sarcasm. I think it really says that you just can't satisfy everybody. So I'll play that for you so that you can, let me see here. Again, this is just like a raw video. I didn't do any extra editing to it yet. So let me play it. Ever had a moment when you're relentlessly complaining about someone and then you suddenly realize that actually you're the problem? It seems that such a revelation is long overdue for Britain's royal family and many royal commentators. Last month, Queen Camilla got the proverbial tongues wagging when she accompanied King Charles to his treatment for an enlarged prostate. Apparently, it is a breach of royal protocol to comfort your spouse of 18 years during a medical procedure. Now, Prince Harry has generated negative headlines and has reportedly infuriated the royal family by speaking about King Charles's recent cancer diagnosis to Good Morning America. So what did Harry say that was so awful? Hope you're sitting down. He said, I love my family. The fact that I was able to get on a plane and go see and spend any time with my dad, I'm grateful for that. Prince Harry gave GMA an interview, which was almost certainly scheduled before his father's diagnosis, to promote the one-year countdown to the Invictus Games Vancouver Whistler 2025. Harry founded the international competition for wounded service members in 2014. Naturally, during the segment, Harry was asked about his father's diagnosis. He seemed somewhat uncomfortable and did not provide any significant details. Harry confirmed that his father broke the news to him over the phone. He immediately went to the UK to see him, and he plans to visit him again at some indefinite point in the future. When asked about his outlook on his dad's health, Harry replied, "That stays between me and him." The most controversial thing Harry did was agree with GMA host Will Reeve, son of Superman actor Christopher Reeve, when he made an apparent reference to how his own family coped with his late father's paralysis. I've also found in my own life that sort of an illness in the family can have a galvanizing or a sort of reunifying effect for a family. Is that possible in this case? Reeves said. Absolutely. Yeah, I'm sure, Harry replied, quickly steering the focus back to the athletes. Throughout all these Invictus families, I see it on a day-to-day basis. Again, the strength of the family unit coming together. I think any illness, any sickness brings families together. Harry has said he loves his father and is open to reconciliation in many recent interviews. Yet this did not go over well with certain royal commentators. Even before the interview aired in full, GB News anchors fretted about what Harry might reveal, and royal correspondent Rafe Hadel-Mancu said he should have sought permission to speak about his father's health. On another GB News program, host Stephen Dixon declared, "The king is going to hate this." Grant Harold, Charles's former butler, told the New York Post, "I don't think William and the king will be thrilled about Harry's interview. Even though the king has already shared some information on his diagnosis, he is very private." He added, "I have no idea why Harry feels the need to speak out. That's what I don't understand." And the Daily Beast reported that Harry's remarks look likely to infuriate the palace, as friends of the royals believe the prince should have remained silent, or maybe silenced. One friend of Charles and Queen Camilla, when told of Harry's comments by the Daily Beast, responded, "It seems Harry has taken it on himself to use the diagnosis to publicize his own agenda. If it wasn't so sickening, it would be funny. What really would have helped the family come together would have been if Harry had said he wouldn't be taking questions about his father." Another friend of the family said, "It's hard to believe that Harry can keep finding ways to make things worse. He just needs to pipe down." To be sure, with the tell-all book and multiple interviews and documentaries, Harry and Meghan have given the royals plenty of reason to tense up whenever he's set to speak in public. But in the GMA interview, Prince Harry managed to politely respond to the questions on everyone's mind without really saying anything at all. Doesn't he deserve a little credit for doing exactly what the royals trained him to do? Okay, so there you have it. But yeah, as you can see, the article was loaded with a bit of irony and sarcasm and all of that stuff, and I rather enjoyed it. So again, that was supposed to be a short video, but didn't get around to finishing it, but soon. Very, very soon. All right, so let me get back over here with you all. I'm multitasking right now. All right. Get that back up here. And to your comments. All right. Lizzie says, "I don't think Harry said much. They just blew it out of proportion because they have nothing else to put out there, as related news or information. Narcissistic mediocrity tabloids." Ha! Thank you so much for that, Lizzie. Well said. Let me see. Okay. Oh, that's dumb. I don't believe that's true. I think the journalists just want to make money. The family isn't tripping over him saying he loves them. The Kings speaks to Meghan often, remember? B. Martim says, these darn people need to pick a struggle. Darn it. If he, oh yeah, darn if he does, or damn if darn, oh, see, I didn't just say it anyway. See what happened when you try to censor? Thank you so much, B. Martim. Damn it. Okay. Oh man. But so again, they how do I put this? They're doing too much. That's the only way to put it. They're doing too much. They're doing too much. And it is true that they really need to examine themselves. We know that won't happen, but the media over there, that is the way they've done things for so long. Anyone who would target victims of a terrorist act and make them not exactly the culprit, but to just dig through their background, not for the sake of human interest, but just for the sake of profits. That describes the media tabloid, what do you call it? Culture, the media tabloid culture. And in exchange for that, they have, made these billion pound empires, if you will. And the worst of the worst alive today is Rupert Murdoch. He is just the worst. But we've had that very same atmosphere here in the U.S. William Randolph Hearst, yellow journalism, that was a phrase. If I recall, yellow journalism originated from, gosh, I think it was when they wanted to, I think there was some sentiment about going to war in the Philippines, and they told this big lie about, was it the battleship Maine that was attacked in the Philippines, and that was our excuse to invade or to bomb or whatever it was. But the thing is, that particular ship, if that was the name of it, I'm trying to use my best recollection, but it was actually a boiler that exploded. It had not been attacked. But William Randolph Hearst and his, newspapers across the United States, he owned a great deal of the media at the time and became very wealthy. They made a movie based on his life called Citizen Kane. He was extremely wealthy, and he had a lot of power. And the thing is, I don't think any of it ever left the United States. But Rupert Murdoch, the problem with him is he exports the nonsense, and the world is not a better place because of him. So I think things are worse because of him. So we've had that here, and Rupert Murdoch is not the only one, but I think he would probably go down in history as being the most successful troublemaker of his kind anywhere ever. So, but hopefully one day people will wake up. But there's so much hate that there is for anybody different. So much hate for others. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. So that is why these things are happening. But the media, I don't see them changing anytime soon. But we can change our own behavior by not engaging in that nonsense. So Prince Harry infuriates royals by saying nice things about King Charles. Harry has always greeted his father with a kiss on the cheek and an embrace, and there obviously is some warmth there. He lost one parent, and he still has a parent, and uh, it's not for us to understand that relationship. It's not for us to understand what Harry has in his heart um, in regards to his father, but he wants his family to be united, away from the tabloids, away from the leaking and the briefing. And although that may never happen, no one could ever say that he didn't try. B. Martin says these people need to pick a struggle. Wait, did I do that one already? Oh, yeah, I think I did, right? I think so. Anyway, there's a bell for you. Okay. All right, so let me go to this one. Invictus on ice. Let's go on to something pleasant, shall we? Invictus on ice. Not exactly like Disney on ice, but it does involve a fairy princess and a fairy prince, right? So it is kind of like Disney. So this was in the, well, and please make sure you guys are going over to Sussex.com. That is so important. We got to get some traffic through that website. Duke and Duchess spent the morning with Invictus alumni, military families, sponsors, supporters, Michael Bublé and Louisiana Lapilato. The Duke spoke from the heart and delivered touching remarks to those gathered. The Hillcrest Community Center was built to host the 2010 Vancouver Olympic and Paralympic curling competition. The facility is a showcase for local community activities, including an ice hockey rink, library, gymnasium, and large aquatic facility. Invictus Games Vancouver-Whistler 2025 will host a fun family bonspiel event for competitors and family and friends to compete together during competition. Family and friends will also have access to the swimming pool, ice arena, and public library. So that is where they were today. Now let's take a look at the photos. So you can see back there, there's a bunch of people watching Harry with whatever exchange was going on here. I believe this was for the curling. I see one of those stones over there. So yeah, this was for the curling. And I don't see our Duchess back there. I believe, did they have a separate event and she joined him later? I think that was the case, possibly. And there is our Duchess right there next to Lupita? No, not Lupita. Gosh, that's a tough name. Her name is Louisiana Lapilato. Easy for you to say, but yeah. So there she is back there. They were having the best time. I don't know what they were talking about, but if you've ever heard the term girl friendly, they were very, very friendly, like good old girlfriends. Like they drove out together, both families, to the event. So that was nice to see, because they love to make people believe the worst, and yet whenever you see Meghan, she's a girl's girl. She's very friendly with everyone, right? And right there, this is where Harry gave the speech. I do believe I have that, and I will play it for you. I haven't heard it in its entirety myself, so this will be the first time I've heard it, but I will play it for you.
Last few days have been very, very special, because it's been our first opportunity to have some friends, some family, and some competitors here with the coaches as well, to be able to try out in some instances, for the first time being on snow. Peacemaker, you're not here today, are you? No. I'm sure everyone's read about Peacemaker from the Nigerian team. He is quite remarkable. He spent 2 days up on the mountain. He had to be escorted off the mountain in between his training sessions, as he would have stayed up there if he could. But I'll tell you what, the smiles on the faces that I've seen over the last few days, it proves why we do what we do. And that was just with the competitors. Imagine what it's going to be like when friends and family get in a coach, get in a bus, and head up to Whistler and get to spend hours or the whole day up in that beautiful mountain air. It is one of the most incredible things, and I'm so grateful to the entire organising committee and the government, both provincial, but every single government here in Canada, for making this possible, because we couldn't have done this without the support right from the get-go. These last few days have been very, very special.
Okay. Did I let that go around? Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, not all the way. But so there's Harry doing a Meghan and giving a speech off the cuff. Yes, there's Harry doing what I would like to call a Meghan and giving a speech off the cuff. Right. Shooting from the hip, as they say. Something that he doesn't normally do, but he is quite capable of it because, especially when it comes to things that Harry believes in, he is very adept at expressing himself. So, no problem with that for him, I could assure you. Okay. And let me go to the next photo. And right there, you can see he and Michael Bublé, they are doing the curling. Now, normally when people curl, they're, walking across the ice, but they are doing a demonstration of it for the purposes of the training and also just to make people aware of exactly what is likely to happen in the competitions next year. Remember, this is the countdown. Competitions actually start in 2025. And so Michael Bublé was there to assist, and that was incredible to see. And don't know who this guy is, but this was just one of the images that was on the Sussex.com website. And right there, you can see Harry is being encouraged by Michael Bublé and others. Here you can see, I guess, more encouragement. And in the background, you can see those symbols that represent the Whistler and Vancouver games. Those images were created by artists from the First Nation. So you'll see a lot of that, the yellow, black, and white. And here again, now with the curling, I believe what happens is that they usually sweep the ice, right? I don't know if they're using brooms for this, but I haven't seen a broom yet, but they sweep the ice to help guide the stone to the finish line or to the marker or wherever that you call the ending point for it. And it takes some skill to do that. And I think it's usually 2 people on a team for the curling, right? So it looks like here there is some assistance from someone else. I don't know if necessarily in a chair or not, but there are some people that really, really enjoy this sport. And so I will learn more about it with everybody else, I suppose. Andrew Bodie, thank you so much for being here. And thank you so much for the super sticker and for watching Royal Sussex. And there you can see more curling. Now that is a stone. That is a stone, and they have that handle on it, and I think they just kind of push it along. And anyway, it's always one of the most unusual sports I've ever seen. Really? Okay. Did not know that, but thank you. All right. And I love this moment. one thing about the Sussexes, and you'll notice that other people in the royal family have adapted to their, the crouching down. They do this when they're speaking to children, and when there's someone who's in a wheelchair. It's just a matter of respect to lower yourself to eye level, so that they don't have to look up at you. You can look directly toward them. It's very cool when I see people do that. And I do believe Princess Diana did that as well. But Harry and Meghan, they usually get down to eye level, and it is a great way to show respect. And here Harry is shaking hands, greeting. You can see Meghan back there in the distance. Must have been an incredible day for everyone present, because yes, it is about the veterans and their families, but not only Harry and Meghan, but Michael Bublé and his wife. Must have been really cool. And I'm sure there was some other people in the community that they may not see all the time, that they have a great deal of respect for. So it had to be a really, really special day for everybody involved. And notice this. I mean, remember I told you that Meghan and Louisiana, Meghan and Louisiana, they were really girl friendly during the meeting there. And look at them back there, girl. Yeah, that's what I said, and such as. I mean, I love that. I love that. It's so funny to see that back there. And meanwhile, up front, Harry and Michael Bublé are like a couple of little boys out there having fun. So there's a lot going on in that photo. I think probably my favorite from the day. Got to be my favorite from the day. And then more love. I mean, it was just love abound. Meghan, they're supporting Harry, hanging on to his arm like that is a very sweet gesture. And as you can see, Michael Bublé, also, they're palling around with Harry. And then there's this one. There he is encouraging Harry again. I think Harry must not have done so well. He's very competitive. I think he probably didn't do as well as he was hoping he would. And even yesterday, Harry was like competing against Reeves when they were doing that. What do they call it? Bones, skeleton, when they were flying on the ice trays or dinner trays. He beat Reeves by, I think, what was it, 1 second? And it was like he couldn't rest if he had not defeated him. So didn't know he was so competitive like that. But yeah, Harry likes to win. Aw, look at that. Look at Bublé and his wife. How sweet is that? You see what I mean? The British tabloid media, I don't know what is it about this that they are so triggered. Why are they so triggered when they see people showing love and affection for one another? Why does that bother them? They are just, they just can't take it. They can't take it. They see something like this, and they just they almost lose it. Yeah, they almost lose it. It's what people do. It's what real people do. But yet they are so triggered by that. Any type of expression of love or affection or camaraderie, and they make it seem like it's something dirty or deceptive or something like that, or whatever you call it. It just let's see. Oh, Deborah Anderson, thank you so much for the super sticker, and thank you so much for being here. Great pictures of event. Here. I love them. And most of the ones I showed you are on the official website like this one. Yes, a lot of these are on their website. So I think they have their own photographer that's going around with them. So again, it looks like it was a fun time. And Prince Harry and Meghan dine at legendary Vancouver restaurant during visit. Okay. All right. Small print, small print. Bear with me, small print. British royalty collided with Canadian restaurant and music royalty in a most delicious way this week as visitors Prince Harry and his wife Meghan Markle dined at one of Vancouver's legendary restaurants during the couple's visit to the city. Remember, it was Valentine's Day. We were truly honored to have Prince Harry and Meghan dine with us at Vige. Is it Vige? Last night. Shared Vige restaurant on Instagram on Friday, February 16th. Captioning that is an image of the royal guests with chef owner Vikram Vij. Anyway, the Michelin Guide recommended that restaurant, located for the past near decade in an impressive space at 3106 Canby Street, is one of the city's most beloved and enduring modern Indian restaurants. Oh, I love Indian food. This year marks the 30th anniversary of that restaurant. Has long been considered one of Canada's most iconic chefs. Harry and Meghan didn't dine alone, though. The royals were joined by a member of Canadian music royalty, Barnaby's own Michael Bublé, and his wife, Luciana La Pilato. Among the dishes landed on the table were Vige's signature lamb. Oh my God, that sounds good. Popsicles, one of the restaurant's most popular dishes. I'm getting hungry. The high-profile royal couple are in Vancouver to meet with Invictus Games athletes at a local curling rink 1 year ahead of the competition. The pair spent the past 2 days at an Invictus Games training camp in Whistler. On Thursday, Harry tried his hand at skeleton at the Whistler Sliding Center and afterwards spent time chatting with some of the athletes who will compete at next year's game. The day before Valentine's Day found Harry and Meghan, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, on the slopes and the mountain community meeting with several athletes. Harry founded the games for wounded, injured, or sick service personnel and veterans about a decade ago. So that is where they went. Yeah, boy, I got to go there. So I am planning to go to the games, so I will definitely look for that place. I love Indian food, so ought to be great. And there's a nice image of them up close. They're on the right side, and I believe that is Vij, Vikram Vij, the owner, founder of the restaurant. Michelin star rating. Michelin star. That means the food is good. And Veterans Center, that's where they were, Veterans Center. There's Harry coming down the mountain. These are just a few of the photos that I did not share with you yesterday. So sharing them today. That is Peacemaker. What a name, right? I had a great day and I really enjoyed discovering how to ski for the first time. Peacemaker Azu Bulam of Team Nigeria. We are very excited for participating nations to discover the power of winter adaptive sports at the training camp for the next Invictus Games as we cross the 1 year to go milestone to Invictus Games 2025. And check this out. This is one to tell the grandkids. I wonder when he felt someone helping with his helmet. I wonder if he knew that that was the Duchess of Sussex. I wonder. I have not seen the video. I don't know if there is a video, but could you imagine you feel someone tugging on your helmet and you look up and there's Meghan smiling at you? That would have to be a treat. I'm telling you, this was probably very special for everybody involved. I don't know if they allowed civilians into all of these events, but from what I've seen, like yesterday, there was was it yesterday or the day before, where they had the video of the people like waiting outside. So yeah, I don't know, but very cool. Very, very cool. Okay. And all right. Multitasking. Sorry. I'm back. And right there. These are, oh, okay. Oh, maybe these are the ones. I'm sorry. These are the ones from the website. Yeah, I think I put all of those on a green background. These are the ones from the website. Please don't forget to hit the thumbs up, everyone. And thank you so much for being here. Please like, share, and if you haven't done so by now, subscribe. Well, 61 miles an hour. Harry went hurling down the ice at 61 miles an hour, head first, on an ice tray, on a dinner tray, a serving tray. Yeah, these are definitely from the website. Look like I see Reeves back there. I didn't see him in his curling outfit, but right there is it William Reeves? Will Reeves? But anyway, there he is behind Harry. You can see him over his shoulder there. And a couple of more shots of the two of them. You can see Harry there on the left, and there's Harry and Meghan on the left, on the right photo. They're on the left side of the right photo. Back there chatting. You cannot come for her hair. Don't even try it. You cannot come for her hair. Her hair is amazing. Look at those locks flowing. I mean, that is a real like Charlie's Angel moment, right? That reminds me of Charlie's Angels, where you just like throw your hair around. That is a major hair moment. Bar none. That is a major hair moment. Yep, that is a major hair moment. Gotta love it. Gotta love it. Okay. And to continue, there's Harry again. They're doing the curling. I don't know why these are separate from the others, but anyway, there they are. And more curling. And a moment. I bet Harry gives the best hugs. And here again, you can see Michael Bublé holding his wife's hand. Meghan looking up. What do you guys think of Meghan's coat? Poncho? What do you think of that? Wrap? I think they called it a wrap, poncho wrap. Anyway, I do have some information about it. It's from the same company. Remember when she went to Christmas that time for her first Christmas before they were married, and she wore that tan coat? Well, if you remember, the sleeves had those like lines on it, stripes or lines. Well, I believe that's from the same place. I think she has two long coats like that, and then she has this. First time she's worn it in public that we know of. And right there you can see her and Louisiana chatting away. And this is where I was going to play Harry's speech, but I went ahead and did it earlier. And that, of course, is one of the officials. Such a pleasure to meet Duke of Sussex, patron and founder of the Invictus Games Foundation. I love when they say that, because you know what the derangers have been trying to do, implying that Harry was not the founder, which is a big lie. The Invictus Games 25 will be taking place in Whistler from February 8th through the 16th, 2025. And his name is Randeep Sari, Member of Parliament for Surrey Centre, Parliamentary Secretary to Veteran Affairs, and Associate Minister of National Defense. So he also gave a speech today. Face, somebody's serving the face card. Somebody is serving the face card. I love these photos. These are actually from yesterday. Did not see them until today, but here you are. Those are from yesterday. You can, I mean, why are there so many people that are invested in believing the worst? I don't know. But the way we see them now, isn't that the way they've always been? They have never been anything shy of what they have been when they first announced, to this very day. If everybody in the royal family appeared this warm and engaged with their significant other, people would probably look at that institution in a different way. Like I always say about the coronation, that seemed like a lot of trouble to go through just to see King Charles III being crowned with a big frown on his face. But that's what they got. They had what was that movie, Grumpy Old Men? He looked like a grumpy old man sitting there being crowned. People want to see love and happiness and connection, not all this petty infighting and stuff. And I do associate a lot of the problems that have happened the past few years with William and Kate and Camilla, and to a lesser extent Charles, but equally responsible. I mean, after all, amongst all of them, he is the senior most figure and should be held accountable for everything because of that. You know, he's senior to everybody else I mentioned before him. And so a lot of that responsibility for what's happened is on his head. So just saying. Let me see here. Okay. And check out this one. I love that one. I love this one. I don't know why, but I love that. But it's just like from this to that, or from that to this. But either way, it's very cool. Seeing this is like the rare time that they can be this close and yet not looking at each other, which is kind of a novelty. And then why is Harry? Okay, you guys, I won't tell you, but who is Harry channeling with his hand like that? You go ahead and put in the comment. I won't tell you, but he reminds me of someone. So tell me, who do you think that he's channeling with that gesture? I'll wait for it. Do 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 dun 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 boom boom. Anybody? Da, 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 da. Chucky? No. Obama? Yes. Now there are no prizes. Oh, you know what? I'm sorry, I missed it. Somebody had it up higher. Let me see. I want to go back through and make sure I didn't miss it. Yes, thank you, H Knight. H Knight says Whoopi's character in The Color Purple. Yes. Yes, there are no prizes, but remember, everything you done to me, already done to you. Yes. Oh, Judy, no, not Sophia. Not Sophia. Yeah, I'm sorry, I was multitasking. I missed it. But yeah, that is definitely a Whoopi Goldberg from The Color Purple. Everything you done to me, already done to you. Yep. I might, let me see. I'm here, by God. I'm here. That's right. I'm here. I'm here. All right. Very cool. But yeah, I just wonder if somebody had Harry enjoy a little cinematic history by watching The Color Purple. Who knows? Hoppo, who that woman? And look at how much they just envelop people in love. You see that? They're just loving on everybody. These are memories to take with you. Now, if you're interested in the jewelry that Meghan has worn, I don't have information about everything, but Burke's iconic. She wore the 3 bands that appear to be interlocking bands, but Burke's Meghan Markle, Duchess of Sussex, adding a touch of sparkle to her visit in Whistler as she beautifully stacks Burke's iconic rings. Meghan Markle, Duchess of Sussex, en joue un touche de la you betcha. Touche. Merci. That's what she did. And then the cape. Meghan is wearing a cape with shawl, collar, wrap coat from Centella in the camel color, in the color camel rather. The Duchess Meghan Markle, Duchess of Sussex Meghan Markle, appears in the Centella cape. Anyway, I think it's a Canadian brand. So listen to my voice. I think I should have put the humidifier on. I kind of took it down and didn't put it back up again. But I think I probably should have the humidifier going. I mean, we've had some warm days, but it's certainly not spring yet. Check it out, the riding boots. Now, I think the name of the company was CO. That was the only thing I could get, but she's wearing some riding boots from LA. But yeah, so she's walking the walk. You better walk, girl, walk. Like the Queen say, walk, walk. She's eating it up. Walk. And I love the woman on the left side. I don't know what's up with that face, but she got that Say what? Say it again. I don't know what could have been going on, but whatever it is, she is ready for it. She is ready for it. 10 toes down, ready for it. So don't mess with her, the one in the red. I wonder if she's a security person. I would feel safe with her. Just one look. That's all it took. And love that jacket right there. That is really cool. I love that jacket. I believe is that the Vancouver skyline or I don't think I've ever seen or I don't recall the Vancouver skyline, but I love that jacket. That is nice. So I even put a background to complement the jacket. Go, Harry. You did all right. No way Willie would be able to do this. They put up an official notice at Buckingham Palace reminding people that there is no way that Willie Leaks could possibly have done the skeleton. Yeah, of course, he has trouble standing up straight these days, so how in the world would he do that? And then, of course, Paksatani Prince is actually scheduled for an outing. Yes, Paksatani Prince going to BAFTA Awards. Hear ye, hear ye. Paksatani Prince is going to the BAFTA Awards. So mark it down. He's going to the BAFTA Awards alone. Oh my God, if he shows up with that brunette, oh, I mean, the last time he came out, he didn't seem to be alone. So if he shows up with that brunette, you guys, it is going to be hell to tell the captain. It is going to be hell to tell the captain. Of course, the media is not going to say anything, but if he shows up with that brunette, whew, that will be something else. Oh my goodness, I cannot wait. What do you all think of how did I forget her name that fast? Anyway, let me play it. I got something to play for you. She has been socking it to them in court today. Oh, I'm sorry. They have tried to cast aspersions upon her character, and she wasn't having it.
Mr. Let's go on and have the conversation.
I've just asked you whether or not it was a coincidence.
Had absolutely nothing to do with this. It's interesting that we're here about this money. Mr. Wade is used to women that, as he told me one time, the only thing a woman can do for him is make him a sandwich. We would have brutal arguments about the fact that I am your equal. I don't need anything from a man. A man is not a plan. A man is a companion. And so there was tension always in our relationship, which is why I would give him his money back. I don't need anybody to foot my bills. The only man who's ever foot my bills completely is my daddy.
A man is not a plan. He's a companion, says Fannie Willis. A man is not a plan. He's a companion. I don't need somebody else's money. I give him his money back. Red Lady says, I believe the major designers are missing out. They really need to have Harry and Meghan as their spokespersons. Hear, hear, Red Lady. And in the future, that is a possibility. I think for now, they want to concentrate on something less controversial, but surely they have been reaching out to the Sussexes. But for now, because they are still members of the royal family, and because both Harry and Meghan have a great deal of respect for their role and their position, aside from the things that have happened with the family, they have not put a foot wrong. And they're not wrong about that. But I'm just going to say there's no agreement on both sides. I think the leaking and briefing is the reason why they had to speak out for their own safety and for that of their children, so that there will be a permanent record of the events as they see them, and not the ones, or not events as the way the tabloid and the, members of the royal family briefing the tabloids. They want the truth out there. They weren't trying to hurt anyone. And I think that they have shown a great deal of restraint. I think Harry and Meghan did not act capriciously. They acted in self-defense against that institution and against their family, against the royal family. So that was necessary. And it's what they asked for. And I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people who wish they would have done more, but all things in time, everything in its proper perspective. So they are being very respectful to their role and their position. But in the future, if they decide to, get into some type of commercial deal like that. But just remember the model that they're using for their future, you know, doing service, and of course, securing wealth for their family. They're using the Clinton Obama model. As you know, the Clintons have the Clinton Foundation, there's the Obama Foundation, and the Obamas have actually produced that movie, that very successful movie on Netflix, among other projects, and the Sussexes have done some production. So that is the direction they're going. So that does not include those kind of deals. But again, in the future, they may very well do that. So watch that space, as they say. Thank you so much for being a member, and thank you so much for your contribution. Also, B. Martim says, Baron, they said it was his cousin. Whose cousin? Wait, what did I miss? Whose cousin? What did I miss? They said it was his cousin. Oh, that the brunette. Oh, okay. Well, that ain't never stopped him. That ain't never stopped him. But anyway, that is Fannie Willis, and she has confounded those people. And I hear the judge even said, I still don't understand why you brought this case today. Why did you ask for this hearing, rather? And she let them know that she is not the one on trial. They are on trial for trying to steal an election. So she said that very clearly, that I am not I know you want me to look like I'm the one on trial, but I'm not on trial. So they were not ready for her. Someone said earlier that she, how did they put it? That the last time somebody from Georgia spoke the way she did, it was Designing Women. What's her name? Sugar Baker, when she said it was like the night the lights went out in Georgia. You guys remember that speech she gave about her sister? That was the last time that a woman from Georgia has spoken in that tone. And I'm here to tell you, she was there to represent. Do you understand? She was not playing games with those people. And at one point, she even told the guy, you can lower your voice. She said, I'm not hard of hearing. You don't need to shout. You can lower your voice. But it was like some type of performative thing. And she just was not going to give them the benefit. They were trying to catch her out in some kind of way. And she just wasn't going to let that happen. So, and also, shout out to her dad, a trailblazer, someone, I think he went to an Ivy League school. What was it Harvard or Yale or something like that? Or is that where he worked at one point? He was a professor. But anyway, he himself is the one who told his daughter, they had a father-daughter conversation where he told her to keep a large sum of money, keep 6 months of cash, available at all time. Let's hear this one.
Thank you, live right here. No. This is the truth, Judge. And it is a lie. It is a lie.
As well,
You see.
Mr. Sadov, thank you. We're going to take 5 minutes. We'll be back in 5.
Let's be clear, because you lied in this. Let me tell you which one you lied in. Right here. Thank you, live right here. No. This is the truth, Judge. And it is a lie. It is a lie.
As well,
You see.
Mr. Sadov, thank you. We're going to take 5 minutes. We'll be back in 5.
Did you hear what that sister said? It's a lie. You lied. You lied. She was not having it. They could not take her. They could not take her. I mean, she was magnificent. She was magnificent. now you see why. Now you see why they always come for black women, because she was not having it. And it's like I always say, um, people force these types of confrontations because I think that there are some people in society that have such a low regard for black people in general and black women in particular that they almost forget. They almost forget. And sometimes you just have to remind people. You have to remind people who you are and where you come from. And that's exactly what she did. She has not forgotten herself. The worst thing that can happen is when you forget yourself. But she knows who she is, and she knows where she stands in this society, and she knows how to speak up for herself. And of course, she learned a lot from her father. And let me see. I'm going to let you hear what her father said.
It's a black thing, okay? I was trained.
Did you hear that? It's a black thing. Between herself and her father, they made those people look like fools.
Your Honor, I'm not trying to be racist, okay? But it's a black thing, okay? I was trained, and most black folks, they hide cash or they keep cash. And I was trained, you always keep some cash, because I've been places, and just because of the color of my skin, for example, I took a fellowship at Harvard when my daughter was just if I might, Your Honor, when I was just, she was just, maybe 3 years old. And I remember going to a restaurant in Cambridge, Massachusetts. And I had a American Express credit card and maybe a Visa or whatever. And I had a lot of what they call traveler's checks. I don't even know if they still have traveler's checks, but traveler's checks. And there was a sign said, with the credit card. For whatever reasons, the man would not take my American Express credit card. So I pulled out my Visa card, and he wouldn't take my Visa card. So then I pulled out my traveler's checks. He said, we don't take checks. Now, these were traveler's checks. This was money. I had a $10 bill. I'll never forget this as long as I live. And he said, the bill for my wife at the time, Fonnie's mother, Fonnie and myself, was like $9.95, and I had a $10 bill. That was all that. I always remember that. But even before that, I've always kept cash, and I've told my daughter, you keep 6 months worth of cash always. For example, I had 3 safes in my house. I put some of my clients' stuff there too, things I didn't want other lawyers to be, because you're always in a firm, and I knew that there were special conditions. So some of my clients' things I would bring home, put them in the safe. But I've always kept safes. And as a matter of fact, I gave my daughter her first cash box and told her always keep some cash.
So there you go. It's a black thing. It's a black thing. And black people don't have the safety nets that a lot of people in society have, because there has been such systematic attacks on the black community. Systematic. And over time, generational wealth has been lost. Generational wealth has been lost. And so one of the ways to keep yourself safe and secure is to have some cash on hand. We trust the banks, but who knows when they'll freeze your account over some nonsense. So, it's something everybody should do. And some people, they've learned that from their parents. Keep some cash on hand. So anyway, I bet you there's a lot of people right now today that were looking online trying to figure out where to get a strong box or a safe and so on. Even safe deposit boxes aren't always safe. I found that out yesterday. I saw where they accidentally sent this woman stuff to unclaimed. Anyway, they made a mistake, emptied her box, and she had to sue the bank, and the bank were not helpful. They didn't admit to their mistake. She happened to see her stuff online for sale and managed to retrieve it.
Just ask you whether or not it was a coincidence.
Had absolutely nothing to do with this. It's interesting that we're here about this money. Mr. Wade is used to women that, as he told me one time, the only thing a woman can do for him is make him.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't want to repeat that one. I was looking for something else. Let me see. Wait, I thought I had something else. Oh, no, sorry about that one.
Let's go on and have the conversation.
I've just asked you whether or not it was a coincidence.
Had absolutely nothing to do with this. It's interesting that we're here about this money. Mr. Wade is used.
Okay, sorry. I guess that's, I thought I had another one and I do not. But anyway, that is what happened in court. So let me see. I'm almost done, you guys. TMCD says, I was brought up that way. Always keep cash on hand. My daughters do that. Oh, very cool. Thank you for sharing that. Yeah, keep some cash on you. You know, people are like, oh, I don't carry any cash. And I suppose people say that just in case somebody tries to rob them. But, you know, sometimes if you don't have something to give them, you might end up with a hairline fracture. You know, you can get more money, but I'd rather not sport a fat lip because I wasn't able to help somebody get their baking soda, if you understand. Oh, well. So anyway, when you see the flowers, you know we're just about done. But let's do our last word for the day. Someone here has been through a terrible time as of late because of injury or illness. And anyway, while I want to protect her privacy, you guys have been keeping her in your prayers, Deborah Anderson. And this is a thought that she shared some time ago. The longest journey begins with a single step. Remember that. The longest journey begins with a single step. So thank you guys for praying for Deborah Anderson. And she has been through it, but she's still here and she's still strong and keeping to her faith. And anyway, thank you for joining us tonight. And thank you for those inspirational words. So again, when you see our queens, then you know it is that time. So our queens and our king, good night to all. That was our last word of the day. Thank you, moderators, for keeping this a safe space. And also thank you for everyone who has memberships and those who participate with the chat, the likes, the shares, and of course, those that have subscribed. Thank you again. If you have not subscribed, please do. It does help out the channel a lot. And it takes a lot to put this together. Trust me when I say that. It takes a lot to put this together. So make sure you're supporting not just myself, but all the content creators, because it's not just about Harry and Meghan. It's also a community. And while we don't know each other for the most part, we don't know each other's faces or names or even what city we're from. It was the Sussexes that brought us together. But this community is about so much more than that. So thank you very much. And thank you for watching Royal Sussex. So let us end with the Ginger Avenger. Oh, 2 hours. Not bad. 2 hours. I will see you all tomorrow, and I'll throw some stuff on the shorts later. Okay. Cue Ginger Avenger.